Recently, I got the Elegoo Saturn IV Ultra. It's a very high quality, easy to use resin printer. And if you're not familiar with resin printing and how it differs from FDM printing, it uses liquid resin and the LCD screen turns on pixels and it partly cures the resin and that creates the layers. And the build plate is upside down, so it moves away from the screen, effectively printing upside down. It produces those high quality prints that you see with a lot of the miniatures, like the Warhammer figures. It's never been a better time to get into this because it's very affordable. Now, I bought the Saturn IV Ultra when it was on sale, and I knew the only reason they were putting it on sale at the time was because they were about to release an updated version, and a lot of people requested some things, and they included some of the stuff, some of the other stuff they didn't, because essentially what they've done, which was smart, was take their existing inventory and swap out a few pieces to make it a little better. So here you can see the actual original Saturn IV Ultra, which is the one that I have. It was the easiest thing to set up. It auto leveled, it connected to my Wi-Fi with no problem. It's amazing. Like, I got the first resin print popped out way easier than my second purchase of printers that were FDM. And the resin is getting better and better all the time. There's only one factor, if you're not familiar with it, it is the potential toxicity of handling the resin or inhaling the fumes. And a lot of people like to set this thing up in their bedroom. I think that's insane. You need to look into the potential hazards to your health with that. Personally, I have mine down in the garage. I could just print it, open it up, and let it air out. I even got the Mars Mate purifier, but the smell was still unreal. So it is no longer in the house. It's no longer in the living room. Couldn't deal with that. It was crazy. Even though the Mars Mate purifier hooked up very well to the back, it hooks up perfectly with the back of the Saturn IV Ultra. I was just testing it out to see if it did anything. Maybe it does, but the smell is undeniable. So make sure you put it in a spot that has good ventilation. If you don't have that, you really need to reconsider your options, I think. I'm approaching this from an artist-based perspective. I like to sculpt things and I like to print them out. And I reached a limit with the FDM printers that everybody commonly uses. They're very affordable now, very cheap. You can get them for like, 150 bucks sometimes. You can produce some really cool stuff, some really amazing stuff with various filaments. But I immediately saw the need for a higher resolution printer, and I definitely was not disappointed with the Elegoo Saturn IV Ultra. When I first put out that Rook print, that little chest piece that they include as the test print, I was blown away at the quality, and that was with their basic resin. It's not even like a high performing resin. And I'm about to print one of my candy dispensers in resin, and we're gonna see how that goes in an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. So the original Saturn IV Ultra was a 10-inch 12K monochrome LCD monitor. So that's the screen that turns on the pixels, and then it slightly cures the resin, and then later you fully cure it and wash it. It's very, very easy. It's very quick, actually. I was very shocked. So the quality was already good, and then Elegoo listened to what people were complaining about. One of the things they were mainly complaining about was the lack of a handle to actually open the thing. When you're dealing with the resin and you might have some on your gloves, you have to wear some sort of protection like safety glasses and gloves. It's just good practice. Some people like to wear a full mask, but if you're in a well-ventilated area, you're generally pretty safe. So there's no actual handle to lift it open. I don't think that's a problem personally for me. I just grab it like this and open it up. It's fine. And I like the limited form factor, but that's something that they didn't include on the newer model. And the newer model is the Saturn IV Ultra 16K. Now, do you get 16K resolution? Does it matter? I believe there's a video or two out there. One of them, I don't know, there's like Faux Hammer or whatever. There's these guys that really go into the detail of the technical aspects, and if you're really getting, that quality of print, and if you need that. So it's debatable, but let's just take a look at this. So it has the tilt release technology like, the original did, and that's gonna help get those really nice clean layers that we're looking for in resin printing. The vat that holds the resin actually tilts with each layer, and it peels it off nice and clean from the screen, and it allows that next layer to do it. It's really awesome to watch. I was also surprised at how quiet this printer is. But the big thing I think that they included that's gonna make a lot of people happy is the smart tank heating at 30 degrees Celsius. A lot of people were concerned at the resin not performing well and not printing to their standards because the temperatures were too low, especially if you have it in a well-ventilated area like a garage. Now, I've seen forum posts of people claiming that they live in sub-zero temperatures, sub-zero Fahrenheit temperatures. They live in freezing temperatures, okay? And they have it in a garage or something, and they're fine printing it. They use a heat gun or a hair dryer, and they preheat the vat full of resin just before they print it, and they let it run all night, and they say it's fine. But it's just kind of an annoyance, you know, if you have to worry about that. So this is a good inclusion, I think, and them, you know, marketing it as 16K, whether that matters or not, is smart. Another criticism that people had with the original, which personally I don't care about, is the AI camera and the lighting were kind of lackluster. They weren't really that great. And that matters to a lot of people who are concerned with, you know, the monitoring of it. You can monitor it. It's really sweet. You can monitor it from your computer. I love all this stuff, right? It's just getting better all the time. The technology, the slicers, the software, the printers, it's just really good time to get into this. But they've improved the quality of that apparently because it was a little lackluster. And personally, I would just put in my own camera. I would find a really good camera and just, you know, plop it in there. And some people have taken their own little heaters and plopped it in there. They sell a mini heater that you can also use. It's like 50 bucks down here, you can see. This is a really good system. If I were brand new, I would get this model, obviously. It's $500, whereas the original one is $100 cheaper. Those are both great price points for any entry-level person into this. If you're looking to upgrade from the original Saturn IV Ultra, you don't need to, in my personal opinion. Unless you're having some real issues with the heat, you know, with the tank, you don't really need to. So that's just my my take on that as a virtual reality artist. Okay, if you don't know, I like to create things in virtual reality and I like to print them out on my printers. Okay, it's giving me an amazing opportunity to just really create things so quickly, so easily. I'm not trained as a formal artist. Obviously, you can see my stuff. And then I like to do some CAD design. This is a controller holster. It looks like a chameleon, and I am very proud of this thing. You can go check that out. I have all this stuff on colts3d.com under Kimchi Studios. So what do you think? Are you interested in resin printing? Do you think this is a good price point? Is it enough to make you take the plunge? If you do want to, I have a link in the description for you. Until then, see you in the next video.